What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Eric Wilson. Today, joined by my co-host, Will Cohen. We have some official news. The first round matchup is set. The New York Rangers will be taking on the Washington Capitals in round one of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, whatever it is that it's called. The playoff rounds have a lot of weird names in the NHL, but it's the first time the Rangers are going to be playing the Capitals in the postseason since 2015, the last time the Rangers won the President's Trophy. And we all remember very well how that playoff series ended. My personal favorite goal of all time, Derek Stepan in overtime. I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing when I was watching that game go down. My favorite game of all time. And we have a chance to relive it, but hopefully it doesn't go as many games as that series. And the Rangers would hopefully win it a little bit quicker. But
hopefully they don't go down 3-0 either.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully that won't happen. We're gonna do a whole first round series projection of the Rangers versus the Capitals. But before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss notification. If you're watching us on Apple or Spotify, be sure to give us a 5-star review. Leave your series predictions down in the comment section below. And lastly, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers for daily Rangers content and updates. But before we really get into it, Will, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing very good. When we figured out that we were playing the Capitals, it was just I lost my street hockey game 2-0 actually, but I literally 30 seconds later figured out that we were playing the Capitals, and I called my mom and I was like, I'm gonna get tickets to the series, and she's like, I can't talk about this right now. She's like, you're stressing me out with all these trips you're going on. So this morning, my girlfriend found tickets. We're going to Game 6 if it goes to 6. And then literally 30 days later, I'm going to Las Vegas for my 21st birthday. So, I'm literally going to have, the best May ever. It's going to be awesome. But I can't say best May ever because if the Rangers get eliminated, then I'll be pissed. But I'm very excited for this playoff series. I don't care, if the Caps are bad or not bad. They did make the playoffs. How lucky they got to make the playoffs. This is going to be a fun series. I mean, it's such a good rivalry, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series. And hey, dude, you're going to Vegas next month. Who knows? Maybe if a few pieces fall into place, Rangers versus Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Finals, you might be able to see a game there.
Oh,
but
dude.
We'll see how the next couple of weeks go and see if we make it there. But the Washington Capitals made the playoffs. They were the team of the four that won that race that we were talking about yesterday. And the first thing I want to do is just discuss the way that went down. It was like an incredible turn of events. John Tortorella, I don't even want to say the Capitals made the playoffs. John Tortorella sent them to the playoffs where, for those who didn't follow what all went down in the NHL last night, it all started when the Detroit Red Wings tied the game with 3 seconds left. And by them getting a point, the Philadelphia Flyers were then eliminated from playoff contention. Now, at the same time that was all going on, the Flyers were playing against the Washington Capitals. And if the Flyers won that game and beat the Capitals, Detroit clinches the playoffs. But if Washington won that game, they would clinch the playoffs. So it's unconfirmed if John Tortorella heard that the Flyers were eliminated. But for the sake of this being really funny, I think it'd be really cool if he did know, because literally 30 seconds after the Flyers were eliminated from playoff contention, John Tortorella pulls the goalie in a tie game, and then TJ Oshie scores an empty net goal to win it for the Capitals, clinching them into the playoffs, and at the same time eliminating both the Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's almost as if John Tortorella just said, if I'm not making the playoffs, I'm taking 2 other teams down with me. And he just
That's so based.
It's incredibly based. And it's one of the funniest things that's happened in the NHL where Detroit was about to make the playoffs. They did what they had to do. They won the game, pulled off the dub. All they needed was for the Flyers to just finish this game strong. And John Tortorella said, nope. I'm going down. I'm taking Detroit with me. And I'm taking Pittsburgh with me. And Washington, go have fun in the playoffs. And that's what it seems like what happened. The other possibility is that he just didn't know, tried to do a big brain, high IQ move by pulling the goalie in a tie game to just help the Flyers make a last second push for the playoffs. doubt
Yeah.
it. I bet you John Tortorella knew, and he just didn't care.
Yeah. He's such a diva, but that's what I love about Tortorella. But I have a feeling that he probably did know. I mean, I guess we'll never know if he did, but I have a feeling he knew, and he was just like, screw it. If, like you said, like, if I'm not making the playoffs, I'm taking the Red Wings and I'm taking the Penguins with me. Like, I don't care.
It's just the timing of it because like the Flyers were eliminated, and then like literally around 30 seconds later, he pulls the goalie. It's like
Yeah.
the timing is right there where someone on the bench could have been like, "Hey, yo, Torts, we're out," and he's like, "All right,
All right, let's go. Come on the bench. Let's go. Come on.
yeah, so you guys are coming with me."
That was awesome. That'd be awesome. I would love that if that was the actual reason. I would love that.
I don't know. That's not the important thing right now. It's just really funny to think about. At the end of the day, the Washington Capitals are on their way to New York to take on the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. Now, obviously, the Rangers are clear favorites to win this, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We saw what happened to the Boston Bruins last year. We've seen what happened to the Lightning when they played against Artemi Panarin and the Columbus Blue Jackets. These teams that are heavily favored to win in the playoffs don't always win. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. Might be just as crazy as March Madness with the amount of upsets that always happen. So I think the Rangers do need to take this very seriously. Alex Ovechkin, although he's old, he's on it. I mean, I guess goals he scored wouldn't count towards Gretzky's record, would they, for the playoffs? So
It would count towards Gretzky's playoff record, I guess.
yeah, but I don't know. Ovechkin does have a record to beat. He wants to keep scoring goals, and he has scored goals. You know, we're looking at, and I'm just going to say it, the greatest goal scorer of all time.
He is like there. He is,
and the Rangers are going to have to find a way to shut him down. You know, him on the power play, dangerous as ever. But the Rangers do have a pretty decent penalty kill. So, but like at the same time, do I have faith in Jacob Trouba right now? Do I have faith in Eric Gustafsson right now? Not particularly. I mean, they've finished the season good. I wouldn't say strong, but they finished it good, I guess. But talk to me about Ovi, Will. What's the key to shutting him down this series?
I mean, you just got to force him to pass the puck. Like, he hasn't really driven play this year. I mean, he's been on a torrid. I mean, he's been on fire since the All-Star break. I think he has 25 goals. I mean, really, in this stage in his career, all he's looking to do is shoot the puck. So he's got to take away his shooting lanes, make him pass the puck, make him become a play driver, because that's not like he's not a good play driver. So, or not anymore. He's not a good play driver. So like, just shut him down, shut his goal scoring ability down. Just try and get in his lanes. I know it's a little scary because he has a freaking wicked shot, but if you lose a couple teeth, you break something in your face, at least you stop.
You're muted.
I cut out.
No, you're good. Keep going.
First time today. You just gotta make him pass. You gotta force him to pass the puck. You kind of have to shade a little bit towards him, but not to the point where you're leaving somebody open. I don't even know who plays on his line anymore. Like, that's like
I did just look it up when you started talking. Are we talking power play or regular?
Just regular power play. I know it's like probably Wilson and Carlson and them.
Regular, he's left wing. Right wing is TJ Oshie, and then the center is Connor McMichael.
All right, so you really don't have like that many offensive threats on that line. So if you just force him to pass, you're shutting down that line's ability to score. I mean, I know Oshie's good and he's a playoff performer, but Connor McMichael, young kid, I don't really know a lot about him, but
when I looked that up, that's the first time I've ever seen his name, if I'm being completely honest.
I know he was a 2020 first round pick, 2019 or 2020 first round pick, but you gotta force him to be a passer. You got to take away his lane, shade towards him, because we all know how good Ovi is in the playoffs and when he has a puck on his stick, even being almost 40 years old.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Capitals lines, that first line is decent, you know, with Oshie and Ovechkin. But then, like, the rest of their lineup isn't really that good. You know, there's a reason why the Capitals have, like, the fourth worst plus minus in the league, or goal differential. It's pretty bad, and I don't know how they made the
minus 31.
Yeah, I don't know how they made the playoffs with that stat, but it
Friendship.
is what it is. But point is, then you look at the power play, the first power play unit, even though their like 5v5 lines aren't that threatening on paper, their first power play unit, Wilson, Strome, Oshie, Ovechkin, and Carlson, that sounds dangerous. So I think
Yeah, I mean it's John frickin' Carlson. Like no matter how old he is, that guy's always putting up points in
yeah.
the playoffs in the regular season.
This is actually also something that I've never known, but the second power play unit is Sonny Milano, Hendrix Lapierre, Max Pacioretty, and then returning to the power play unit is Ovi and Carlson. They're just on both units.
Jeez, they're out there for 2 whole straight minutes.
I don't know how accurate daily faceoff is. That's just what they've said, but it's usually very accurate.
Yeah, they're usually accurate. Russian machine never breaks.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a very big special teams series. Obviously, with the Rangers struggling at 5v5 too. But I still think it does favor the Rangers, obviously. But the next thing I want to transition into is it's the battle of the Lingrens. Ryan Lingren, the defenseman for New York, versus Charlie Lingren, the goaltender for Washington. And I have a feel like I am confident that the Rangers are going to win this series. I'm very, very confident in that, knock on wood, obviously. But I feel like it might not be as much of a blowout as people are making it seem like. I've like all over Twitter today, I've seen like, oh, sweep for the Rangers. I think I made a comment about a sweep. But I was joking though.
Okay, good. Thank you.
People saying 4 or 5. I could, although I do think the Rangers are going to win the series, I could easily see Charlie Lingren making this a 6-game series.
I was just about to say that. Charlie Lingren's played good against us this year. He has a .951 save percentage against us this year. Like he could steal a game or two.
He definitely will steal a game. I would as much as I want the Rangers to just win 4 straight, I think Charlie Lingren is going to steal at least 1 game, and this series might be a lot closer than we think it might be, despite the outcome.
Yeah,
both of us still predicting that we're going to come out on top, but I don't know. Goaltending is going to be a big thing, and it's really up to the offense to find a way to beat Lingren. Zibanejad got to wake up now. We've made excuses for him all season long where we're like, he's not scoring goals, but he still has assists, so it's all right. He still scores on the power play. Not anymore. It's round 1. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I need him to keep doing what he was doing good, but then add on to it by scoring at 5v5. Yeah. So that's my take on it. I think the biggest thing that I'm curious to know, we posted a discussion about it on the Fireside Rangers social media platforms today, and everyone pretty much was in agreement that commented their thoughts. Matt Rempe, Tom Wilson is on his way to New York. Matt Rempe, it's going to happen at some point. I feel like whether it be game 1 to just set the tone of the series, or if the Rangers find themselves down in the series and Laviolette needs Rempe to just go out there to shift the momentum back to us, Matt Rempe is going to fight Tom Wilson. I think it's going to happen no matter what. But the question is, how many games should Rempe play in? When I made this post on the socials, everyone said all of them. This is when I made my comment. I said all 4 of them. All 4 games in the first round, we need Matt Rempe to be in. But everyone agreed. They just said every single game. They love Rempe. They want him to play. How do you feel, Will?
I like Rempe, and I did change my mind a couple weeks ago, and I did say I wanted him to play in the playoffs. But if you want to go for your most effective lineup, I feel like Brodzinski would be the choice to go in instead. I mean, I know we love Rempe. I feel like Rempe is the type of guy where you're going to scratch him in the playoffs, but if you need like you said, if you find yourself down in the series, let's say like you're down 2-1, maybe you went up 1-0, you lost the second 2, and you need a momentum shift, maybe then he comes in to, kind of put himself on the line and fight somebody, make a big hit. But I think if the Rangers want to go with their best lineup, I think they probably put Brodzinski in for the entire playoffs. I mean, the entire first round. I don't know if we even see Rempe in the playoffs, but he'll be on the roster, but I don't know. I mean, Laviolette kind of did say, like, kind of hinted at maybe he would play. Like
he did hint at it. Laviolette was asked. He thought Rempe earned playoff time.
Yeah. So
he's earned it.
Yeah. So like, it kind of like that kind of gives me maybe like he might get like a game like here or there, but I don't know if he'll like just he'll be in the lineup for game one, but he might get a couple games here and there sprinkled around or something like that. Maybe if they just need momentum, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see. It's going to be a very entertaining series. Like I said at the very beginning of this episode, first time these two teams have met in the playoffs since 2015, that Game 7 overtime winner. Like it's going to be a phenomenal series, and we'll definitely be here to cover it every single day of the postseason. Today we just did like a generic reaction to the series, the events that got us here, and pretty much all that. I think before I wrap up, I want to do just like our predictions, like who's going to win and how many games. But I don't want to get too into the details on the series and players and all that. I think tomorrow what we'll probably do around this time that you're watching this video, another video will be posted probably about 3 keys to beating the Capitals or 3 players that the Rangers need to step up. You'll see in about 24 hours. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. But final predictions, or I guess first predictions. I'm going to say the New York Rangers are going to defeat the Washington Capitals in 5. I know I said Charlie Lingren's going to make this series a lot closer than we think, but I still think he's only able to steal 1 game. He might make another game closer than we'd want it to be, but we're still going to win in 5. That's my prediction.
I really hate doing this because I'm a very superstitious person, and I feel like if I put this out there, then
you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I'm going to because it's whatever. I think it'll be 5. I agree with you. I think Lingren will steal a game, and he'll make maybe like 1 or 2 other games close, but it won't be enough to steal them. So I agree with you. I think the Rangers win in 5. For my sake, I know this is going to sound very selfish. I kind of hope they go to 6 just so I can see them. But at the same time, I want it to be an easy.
And go see us in round 2.
I don't have money for that. I'm sorry, Eric. I love the Rangers, but I'm not spending that money on. I'm sorry, unless I win the lottery somehow. But I mean, I get my money back for game 6. We don't go in it anyway. But I think they win in 5, and I think Lindgren steals a game early in the series.
Yeah, you fans, you heard Will. He's too poor to go see the Rangers play in the second round, so make sure to donate. I think we have a donate button now. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if we do. So if we do, don't donate because I won't know how to access them.
Don't donate to me. I'm actually poor because I'm going to Las Vegas for my 21st, so it's worth it.
You're going to make the money there.
But I wish. I'm going to lose all my money.
Yeah, that about wraps up today's discussion, though. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about 3 keys to beating the Washington Capitals or something along those lines. I'm sure me and Will discuss it tomorrow morning. But thank you to everyone for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss notification. If you're watching us on Apple or Spotify, be sure to give us a 5-star review. Leave your series predictions down in the comment section below. Once again, do you agree with me and Will that it's only going to take 5 for the Rangers to move on? Or do you think Charlie Lingren and Alex Ovechkin are going to be able to make it a little bit closer? Hopefully not. Lastly, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. Have a phenomenal rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. And let's go Rangers.